This is the Pixel 8 killer that you've never heard about. So this is the ThinkPhone by Motorola. Excellent phone. I reviewed it a couple of months ago, and I was taking a look at some stuff yesterday. It's on sale as of the making of this video for $4.99, which I've got a link in the description for that. Great phone. And it's been really surprising, especially in things like the security update department and stuff like that, because traditionally, a lot of people think Motorola phones, they go, you get one update, you never get any more updates, or not good with security patches. So I don't know if it's because this one originally kind of had like a business and an enterprise kind of approach to it. You can get it. It's like a normal civilian phone. Of course, they don't carry it at like T-Mobile or anything, but of course, you can put your SIM card in it. I've actually been getting monthly security patches with it, which is something that's been really impressive to me because, well, one, not a lot of phones other than Google and Samsung do that in the Android world. But yeah, it's got the October security patch right now. It had September, I got August, I got July, and like every month I'm like, wow, this is really cool. And one thing that's also really cool, this isn't a case. This is the back of the phone. It's like this aramid carbon fiber feel, just like the ThinkPhone, the ThinkPads and the ThinkBooks whenever it comes to the laptops. So that's really neat. You've also got this programmable red convenience button over here too. It kind of reminds me of the little red joystick they have that they still like to use on the ThinkPads and the ThinkBooks. But I really like this phone. Built really well. It's under 200 grams. It actually feels pretty light and balanced. Flat screen, big, bright 6.6 inch AMOLED display, 144 hertz. Yes, not 60, not 90, not 120, 144 hertz. So there's a lot of special stuff about this phone. It even has like its own desktop mode. It has a lot of extra security stuff. It has Dolby Atmos for sound, which is something that I really harp on a lot when it comes to the Samsungs, because Dolby Atmos really just takes things up a notch. And then you get 68-watt charging. And that's one thing that's cool. That you can use the charger for this, and you can also use it for like the ThinkPads or the ThinkBooks. It's basically a one charger kind of fits all approach, which is nice because it has the same power charging requirements. And you can charge it quick, fast, and in a hurry. 68 watts, that's really nice. And it's also got 15-watt wireless charging. It's got 2 cameras on the back. It actually has a 2-megapixel depth sensor as well, which is something that helps you take better portraits and stuff like that. And a lot of people, the things people are going to ding this phone for are security and updates, which it gets 3 years of operating system updates, 4 years of security patches, which I think is totally fine, especially for most phones. That's going to be good. It's going to last you that long. I think that's a realistic amount of time, and I've been really surprised because it's actually been getting monthly security patches. I'm curious to see how quickly it gets Android 14. I'm curious to see how quickly we get the November update. Of course, it's just now turned November, but the fact that I've been getting monthly security patches, very reassuring to me, and I just like it. I think it's got good haptic feedback. I think that the sound on here is pretty good. You've got your traditional face unlock. You got the fingerprint scanner underneath the screen. I even have a glass screen protector on here. It works great. I don't have any problems with it whatsoever. And it's just insane to me that you can get this for $499. Like, that's a ridiculous deal, especially considering all the power that it has, the nice bright screen, the great haptic feedback. It's got decent cameras. And that's what I talked about in my full review. Is it as good as Apple's cameras? No. Is it as good as Google's cameras? No. But you're paying $499 and not $999. Or even if you take a look at what you get with the Pixel 8, it's $699 now. They bumped it up $100. So if I were to go walk in the store right now and I was trying to get a phone for around probably $400 or $500, I would buy this over the Pixel 8. And the nice, like, Pixel 8 6.2 inch screen, you get 6.6 here. They're both 1080p. They both have 2 cameras. And of course, you, like I said, the elevated 144 hertz refresh rate. You're getting monthly security patches. At least that's been the history that I've had. I've had this phone for like 5 months now, and it hasn't disappointed me. And then, of course, you do get like the desktop mode. This is really neat. You can use this phone. It has a 32 megapixel selfie camera. You can use it with your computer. So you have the Ready For app that's on here, and you can connect it basically remotely with your computer. You can get your text messages on your computer, all that stuff, but you can use it as a webcam. So if you've got a laptop or a computer that doesn't have a webcam, you can use this app and you can pull it up and use the selfie camera on the phone as a webcam for your computer. Like, who does that? So I like this phone. It's probably evident I like this phone. I was really excited when I got to see it in Barcelona at Mobile World Congress at the beginning of this year, and see it come out and see that they've had such great prices on it. And that's $256. That's not 128 gigabytes of storage. You can get this with 256 gigabytes of storage for $499 versus the 128 gigabytes of storage and $699. Now, of course, you get 7 years of operating system updates, 7 years of security patches with Google, and I've had my conversations and my thoughts on that stuff. I'm sure some people will carry it and hold on to it that long, but I think that 4 years of support is very meaningful, especially in a flagship caliber phone. And it's funny because when you take a look at what's in the Google Tensor, it's basically the equivalent of about a Snapdragon 8 Generation 1. It's slightly better than that. It's got some newer architecture, newer updates. It's got, of course, the Tensor chip and AI. This phone is not built around AI. And it doesn't need to be, because it's just got a great workhorse processor with the Snapdragon 8 Plus Generation 1. It fixed all the issues we had at the beginning of last year with the regular Snapdragon 8 Generation 1 that was in the S22, that was in the OnePlus 10, that was in a lot of phones that just didn't have great battery life and would heat up a lot. That was Qualcomm's answer. The Snapdragon 8 Plus Generation 1, it was in the Z Fold 4, and I've used it in a lot of different phones. And it's funny because if you take a look at some of these other phones that we're calling flagship killers or budget flagship or whatever you want to call them, they're all about the $400, $500, $600 price range. Even this guy right here, this is the S23 FE. It only has the Snapdragon 8 Generation 1, and it's $599. So do you want to get a $599 Snapdragon 8 Generation 1, or do you want to get a $499 Snapdragon 8 Plus Generation 1? I would get this phone, if you were to stack this up against the S23 FE, if you were to stack it up against the Nothing Phone 2, if you were going to stack it up against the Pixel 8, if I were going in there wanting to get a good, like, performance flagship phone that has some of the bells but not necessarily every single one of the whistles, I would get this. I've been really impressed with it, and you don't even need a case for it because it's basically a rugged phone. It has this aramid fiber kind of rubber protective back on it. Of course, it comes with a case shell that you can put on it to protect it that way. But yeah, if you are looking for an alternative and you want something that I think is decent support, I know a lot of people don't have a great history when it comes to Lenovo and Motorola phones. I think they're trying to turn that around, and because of the business and enterprise and security focus on this phone, I believe that's why it's been getting the monthly updates, and that's what inspires me to be like, okay, this is a better phone to recommend. And of course, once you start getting down to the $300, $400, $500 price point, there's always going to be some give and take here and there. But overall, I've been impressed with the ThinkPhone. I already reviewed it. I made a video about it. I think I made like 2 videos about it months ago. And seeing it go on sale now, be $499, and then you look at the S23 FE, $599. When you take a look at the Pixel 8, $699. I really think they should have kept the Pixel 8 at $599 because you're having these phones slide under the radar. This one they've dropped the price on, the S23 FE. Some people would prefer that over even the Pixel 8, and that's $599. And of course, Samsung has a great legacy when it comes to their support and their updates on all those things too. So there's a lot of exciting phones around this $500, $600 price point now. But seeing this one drop to $499, this one gets my seal of approval. It gets my thumbs up, and I really, really like this phone. And I think at $499, it's a steal of a deal. You're still going to get several years of support, and I think it's a very unique, interesting phone with an emphasis on security and just having like a great kind of professional level phone with a lot of extras. Like the 144 hertz refresh rate is really darn smooth, and it's something I like a lot on this phone. So that's all I've got in this video. Just wanted to talk about that. Let me know your thoughts. We'll talk about it in the comments section. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like and the subscribe button and the little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. And as always, thanks for being here. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you guys next time.